guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. So today I'm going to be working with blinging, meaning with rhinestones. I'm going to be decorating a shirt, and yeah, so I can't wait to share that with you. So if you remember, I work on my new heat press. I got a new 16 by 20, no, 16 by 24. And I was testing the press with you all, and I shared the design that I made with HTV. And I work on this design, but that time I used a long sleeve shirt. It was a black shirt. And I was not too happy with the positioning of the heart in the back design. So what do you think? I like it this way better. And yeah, so I changed the design this way. So I just wanted to share that with you because I said I was going to do it. So guys, I can't wait to start with the blinging. So let's get started. So this is the design that I'm going to be working with. These are the original colors. I don't like these colors to work with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the colors. At this point, it doesn't make any difference because when you work with rhinestones and then you cut the file or cut the template, they have no colors. But just for a visual, I like always to put some color into it. I am going to ungroup the whole thing. I'm going to switch these ones also. So these ones are grouped. So I'm going to ungroup this part also. So now they're all separated. I'm going to work on this one maybe in a blue color. Let me choose this blue to see. This one looks cute. This one, of course, is a heart. So I'm going to try to do a nice red color right here. That's a nice red color. And then this one, for now, I'm going to use a pink. Okay. So this is a design right now. So before I do anything, and I convert this into rhinestones, I had to choose the size that I want. So I'm going to take the whole thing, and I'm going to, actually, it says 11 by 10. This is a good size right here. I like this size. I'm going to keep it like that. I'm not going to do anything with it. So I'm going to go ahead and group the whole thing. Actually, I'm going to leave it on group because that way I can work on the designs individually. You can choose the rhinestone panel from the top left panels. You choose the one that says panels. You can see that it says rhinestones here, or you can also choose that on the right side lower. There's a little arrow here, and you can click that, and it's going to open this section in here, and you choose the icon that looks like a rhinestone. So once I'm here, I'm going to select the rhinestone mode that I want. You can either do edge, which is only going to do the edge of the design, which looks pretty nice. I like that, but I want it to be filled. And then you can have the option of do the lineal, but this one looks very square. Those are good for designs that are very square, that have no like designs like these curves. For the curvy fonts or designs, you use this one right here, which is called the radial. It's more or less filled in, but not completely. So now that I do this, I'm gonna go to 10SS because that's the sign of the stone that I'm gonna be using right here. And then the spacing to make it closer, because you see how many holes are in between. You go into the spacing, and I'm explaining this for those who are never done this before. The default is 0.039, but I want to make it closer. So I sometimes use 0.015, sometimes I use 0.019. That depends on the design. It varies depending on the design. So I'm going to start with 0.015, okay? And I'm going to hit enter. And it didn't, I mean, it made it better. I mean, I prefer this like this. Let me make it bigger so that you can see the spacing. That is an improvement. So I'm not going to choose to do it smaller than that, because what happened is that if you do it smaller, then you take the chance of the holes being too close. You know, the dots, the little holes in here, the dots or the circles. If the circles are too close together, then when you use your template, the template might rip, you know, and you don't want that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be working on this with this like this. And I have not released the stones yet, meaning that I haven't released the stone, which is this right here. Um, Before you click that release stone, this is the last chance that you have to change the signs. Let's say that you decide, well, I don't want it to be 11 wide, or I don't want it to be this too close to whatever. You can do all just changes in here before you release the stones. Once you release the stones, you cannot make any changes to the design, all right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get ready to release the stones so that I can work with the circles or the dots individually and move things around. I'm gonna be working on only one example with you guys, but I am not going to do the whole thing recorded because sometimes this can take a long time, all right? And I'm not gonna go through the whole process. I'm just gonna do one example and then I bring you back with the whole design already finished, all right? So let's go ahead and release the stones. I'm gonna go ahead, click in here. And I forgot to tell you, this right here, what it says 10SS, it tells you, let me make it bigger. Well, it doesn't, that part doesn't get any bigger. This right here, it tells you the amount of stones that the whole design has. This design have 1,644 stones, all right? So, okay, so I'm gonna click release stones. It takes a couple of seconds to work. You're gonna see little squares around each circle individually. You're gonna see little squares, okay? Going right now. So the stones are released and I'm gonna go ahead and make this bigger. You notice there was little squares around it. So I'm gonna choose to work, let's just take an example to work on this part in here that is kind of like all together in here. And I'm gonna add some ones down here so that you can see how is it that you move the circles around. Okay, sometimes I call them holes because they're really tiny holes, but they're circle shaped too. So I'm gonna make this bigger. So right now, and also I chose this design because this design doesn't have any outlines or any overlap, and it's a perfect design that I can use to show you guys how to do this. You know, how to convert a regular SVG file into rhinestones. All right, so you see all these stones in here. Let's move them around. You see they're overlapping. We don't need these. Sometimes it adds some circles or dots where I don't need them. So you can move things around. I don't need this and I don't need this either. I can maybe move this a little bit like that to make it look more like an S. And then what you do is that you reshape the whole thing in the way that you prefer and making sure that you're not going to place them too close together, all right? So this one right here is kind of separated, so I'm gonna take it like closer. Let me see what else. I can add one in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and move this stone over here and add one in here. Always making sure that they're not too close together. You just move things around, you see? And this one you can make it, you can move it lower so you can make more room for this one that I added in here. And that's the way you can do that. So this is what you do with every circle that you see. And guys, that's why I told you that I'm not gonna show the whole process because it takes time. Because I had to repeat that to the whole design, all right? So I decided to move this and add an additional in here. Okay. That looks good. I can afford to move this a little bit lower. and make more space for this one. Okay, so these ones I am not using, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete this. Right click. I'm going to delete. I don't need those. And the same thing in here. I'm going to repeat the same process in here. And each time that you work with the design, it's different. Like I can do another design and another file, and I will not see any dots or any circles one on top of the other. This one decided to do that. That's the way it is. I don't understand why, but sometimes that happens. So this one, I'm going to move this in here. And what I like about working with rhinestones is that you have freedom on deciding how easy that you're going to do it. You see, I decided to place one in here to make it more like an eye, like a letter I, okay? And then that's the dot of the eye. If you don't like this too close, you can still move things around in here, move it a little bit lower, making sure that it's not too close for comfort, and leave it like that. You see how clean it looks? Then I'm gonna go ahead here and I right click it and I'm gonna delete that. Let's move to another. I already did this. I have one that is already finished. I decided to do it again so that I can demonstrate how it's done. So in here, you see how it's missing dots in here or circles? In order for me to add, I'm gonna go and pick any of the circles that you see, and I'm gonna go ahead and right click it, and I'm gonna hit duplicate. And I give me an additional one. And I'm gonna go like this, okay? Right click, duplicate, and I'm gonna add another one in here. Right click, duplicate, and I'm gonna add another one here. And then you notice if this is too close, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna work in here by moving things around and making room for that one. You see? And now this is completed. If you notice right here, these are too close. I can see it's too close, so I don't like it. So I'm gonna move it a little bit away from it and make sure that it looks better. Again, making sure that none of the circles are too close, because again, they're gonna rip in the process when you are working with your template and your flock, rhinestone flock. You're gonna cut in your Cricut machine or any cutting machine that you own. And then if the circles are too close, when it's time to lift it from the cutting mat, you're gonna pull it, they're gonna rip if they are too close because they're not gonna have enough spacing in here, okay? So this looks much better. You see how I moved things around? You can afford, you see how this is closing here? I did not fix that one. And this is what you had to do when you go through the whole thing. I mean, you had to go inch by inch and check everything and just move the things to your liking. Right now, I don't like this extra circle in here. I'm gonna get rid of it. These are out of place, obviously. I'm gonna put this little one in here. And this is the end of the A. You see? And I fixed that. I cannot fit another stone or another circle in here, so I'm not gonna even try it. But I can move this a little bit lower so that that hole in there doesn't look so big, that empty space in here. Because remember, with rhinestones, the closer they are without being too close, the better the design is gonna look. All right? So this one looks good. I am not, I can work on this and make another space in here. But like I said, I'm not gonna do the whole thing with you all because I don't wanna be here. This video will be like 3 hours long. No, not that much, but it will be very long if I decide to show you the whole thing. Move things around a little bit, move this in here, move this down, and I made space for this one in here. You see? And that's the whole idea. Same thing in here. You can move things around in here and add another one in here if you choose to. In order for me to do this, I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna move this to the side a little bit like that, and I make room for this one. And then I don't have that empty space in there, that hole in there. It's kind of weird right now, but like I said, this is just an example. I already made this template and look like that. You can afford to do the same thing and put another one in here. You're gonna move this to the outside a little bit. And just play around. For some people, if you don't have patience, just I don't know about rhinestone for you, but this is to me, this is relaxing. I can be doing this template while I'm watching TV, doing, just meditating. You can do, it's a relaxing thing for me. Not everybody's the same, and they might not like this process, but I like it. All right. So guys, I think this is all I'm going to explain right now. I repeated this process through the whole design. I added stuff in here. I took things away from here. You see how this mumble extra ones on the bottom. So I arranged the whole thing. And when I was done, I'm going to show you how the one that I worked with looked like. All right, let me show you. This is the one that I finished. Okay, look at the way it looks. You see? Everything is completed. Everything is done. Yeah. So now I'm gonna explain you how to transfer this once you're done into your cutting machine. If you have a Cameo, you don't have to do nothing. You just go straight to your Cameo and you cut it in your own machine. You don't have to transfer the file to another machine. I cannot explain you that part because I do use Silhouette Studio to work with all kind of designs, but I don't own a Cameo. So I don't know how the process is to cut it in the Cameo. But if you own a Cricut, in order to cut this on a Cricut machine, and I think it does apply the same thing into the Juliet and Romeo and also other cutters, you have to convert this into an SVG file again. In order for me to do this, I'm going to take you back into the one that we were working with. Okay. And we are going to pretend that this is done, this is beautiful, and this is the way I'm going to cut it, even though we know that this is the one we're going to be working with, the one that is finished. Okay. So once we are here, we're going to go and we're going to select the whole thing. We're going to go to edit and we're going to go to select by color. And then we're going to go into the right that it says by fill. And it's going to take you all to the whole colors. I'm going to go ahead and go one by one. I'm going to select the purple. Okay. And I'm going to go to object. I'm going to group. So I'm waiting for it to group. And the way you're going to know it is because the little squares are going to disappear. Sometimes it takes time. So as you see right here, remember we're pretending that this is done. This is not the one that is done, but you know what I mean. Then after I do that, I'm going to go back to object and I'm going to make compound path. It's going to lose the color. Don't worry about it. We're going to go back to the color again. We're going to pick the color that it had, which was I believe was the purple. And then we're going to see this little square in here that is in red. We're going to click that. We're going to take all the red circles away. We're going to go and we're going to click here on this square. That is like a white colored square. We're going to click that and it took it off. We're going to do the same thing with the pink. We're going to select the pink color. We're going to go to object again. We're going to group it. You're waiting for it to group. It's grouped. We're going to go back to object and we're going to go to make compound path. The color went away. We're going to go to look for the pink. We're going to click the pink. Click this red box in here that has a red, it's a white box with a red outline. We're going to click that. We're going to go down here to this white box. We're going to click it and it took the circle, red circles away. we're going to do the same thing with the red. We're going to go to the red. We're going to go to Object, Group. We're going to go to Panel. I'm sorry. We're going to go to Object again. We're going to go ahead and we're going to click Make Compound Path. Go to the color, choose the red color, choose this little square here with the red outline, choose the white box and click it. And then we're going to do the same thing with the blue. We're going to choose the blue. We're going to go ahead to Object. We're going to group it. We're going to go to Object again, Make Compound Path. Go to the blue color. Click the blue color. Click the box. Click the second box, and it's here. So now we have all this done. But remember, these are not grouped together, so I want to keep it together. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the whole thing. And you're going to go ahead and group the whole thing. Just group it. They're together. Okay? Now, this is why I did it, because this design, from the beginning, it has multiple colors. All right? It has multiple colors. If you can also do it, if you choose the whole thing and make it one color, but then it's complicated to ungroup it and do it separate. To me, this is the best way to do it when you have a design that it has multiple colors. And I decided just to keep it with the colors from the beginning. All right. Now that this is like this, I need to transfer it to my Cricut, because I'm gonna use my Cricut machine to cut it. So if you have a Cameo cutting machine, you don't have to worry about transfer it out of the Silhouette Studios, because you just take it straight to the Cameo. When it comes to the Cameo machine, I cannot explain how to do it because I don't own a Cameo cutting machine. I do use Silhouette Studio to work with most of my designs, but I don't own a Cameo, all right? So in order for me to do this, I need to make sure that I transfer this to my machine on a SVG file. Otherwise, it's not going to transfer. So that's why I mentioned in the beginning that you need to have the business edition, because it will allow you to do two things. It will allow you to work with rhinestones, and it will also allow you to transfer this design into an SVG form so that you can use it someplace else. Okay. Now, I have this here. We're going to go ahead and do the whole process. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and close this one. Okay, because I'm not going to use this one anymore. This was just an example. So I'm going to go ahead and click it off. I say, no, I don't want to do any changes. So now, okay, let me go back. I clicked the wrong one off. No, I don't want any changes. I'm going to go ahead and bring the one that I work with, since I closed it by mistake, which is this one right here. Let's just do the whole process of converting this onto an SVG file, which I already done it, but I'm going to show you how to do it. You're going to go ahead and select the whole thing. You're going to go to File. You're going to go ahead and click the Save As, and you're going to choose Save to Hard Drive. This thing is going to open. I usually place mine on my download, but since I already have it on the download, I'm going to go ahead and choose desktop this time. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and place here the title, which is already in here. This Mama Praise. I don't need this part in here. I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay. I'm going to go ahead. Usually what I do is I write rhinestone so that I know it's a rhinestone file in capital. And then I write the dimensions. The dimensions of the designs are up here. You can copy it from here. You have to do this because when you go to Cricut, it's going to ask you for the dimensions. And when you work with rhinestones, you have to change everything to the correct dimensions. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to cut it because it's going to be all messed up. So remember to write this down. So I'm going to do a width of 11. 11.171 by 10 point, and I'm reading from the top, 10.370. Yeah, okay. And I did a comma instead of a dot. 370. All right. So that is what I usually write in here. And I forgot to place the H for height. This is very important. Especially if you're going to share this design with somebody else, they need to have this information to be able to work it through. Otherwise, it will not work. And then you're going to go ahead to the second drop box. You're going to open it and you're going to choose SVG. After you do this, you're going to say, okay. And it's gone to your desktop. And then in order to save this, if you don't have it saved, I usually save all my designs on my library. I have already saved it. I'm not going to save it again, but I'm going to show you how is it that I save it on my Silhouette Studio library. I'm going to go back to File again. I'm going to click Save As. Instead of choosing hard drive, and you're going to choose Save to Library. I'm not going to click it because I already have it saved, because that is how you save it into your library. I'm going to click this because I don't need it anymore. I don't want to do any changes. I'm going to take you now to Cricut Design Space, okay? See you in a little bit, people. Okay, so we are in Cricut Design Space. I am already on my Canva, and if you have Cricut, you know what I mean by that. I'm going to go ahead and go to Uploads because we need to bring that design in here. I have already the design in here, but for those who have never used the Cricut, you're going to go to the Upload image. I'm going to go to Browse. I'm going to go to my files. I'm going to click this one. Is the this is my Prairie Rhinestones. I'm going to open it, and it's going to be in here. You're going to go ahead and you're going to hit Upload. And it came back in here, all right? I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna delete it because I don't need two of them. Delete, delete. I'm gonna go ahead and click it or select it. I'm gonna add to Canvas. Right here. If you notice, it came out in a different size that we needed. It came out with a size of 5.6 by 4.7, which that is not the size. I did not write down the number, but that's no problem because I can go back to the upload and I can just hover over the design. I will give me the measurements. That's why it's so important, people, to write it down in the information because you have it right here. 11.171 by 10.370. And I hope I remember all those numbers. Gonna cancel. I'm gonna go here. And I'm going to keep the lock right here locked, all right, the dimensions locked, and I'm gonna write 11.171 by 10.374. Do I have a good memory? 10.374. Let me go back. I'm telling you, people, my memory sometimes, you know. Oh, I was very close. 3.70. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so it's 3.70 instead of 3.74. I have already this saved, all right? So I'm not to worry about it. Let me make this smaller so you can see it here. Okay, so we have the design already. It has the correct measurements. And again, the importance of these measurements be the exact ones that you work with when you were designing this in Silhouette, because this is the way you design it. So if you put a different number in here, it's not gonna come out. It's gonna be mumble jumble. So you need to do this, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and go make it. Okay, so I have everything in here. This one is here, mama is here, and the heart is here. So when you're working with rhinestones, you don't need to mirror anything. You're gonna cut it the way it is. Usually, I don't keep these separate in separate mats. I place all of them in one mat if I can fit it in one mat. They're all gonna be cut on a rhinestone flock, so it's all the same color. You don't need to worry about separating by colors. So let's say I have this right here. I'm gonna click these three dots up here and I'm gonna choose move object. So I'm gonna move it to the first mat. It doesn't matter which mat you move it as long as they are all in one. I'm gonna go ahead and confirm it and it's already moved in here. I can move this here, wherever you wanna move it, okay? All right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing with all of them. The three dots, move object, I'm gonna choose the blue mat, confirm. And I'm gonna go ahead and move this around. I should be able to fit everything in the one mat. I should. Okay. And then I'm gonna get the last one, three dots, move object to the mat. That's it. You see? I'm gonna find a way to move this so that I can fit all of them in the one mat. Now I was able to do that, and also I was able to keep it in a mat that is not the long one. This is a regular mat because it's under 11.5 inches. So yeah, all right. Now I'm gonna take you to the next step, but I am not connected to my machines, but I'm gonna tell you what you're supposed to do, all right? So I have already done this design. I have already cut the flock. I am not going to include that process into this video. It will make the video too long. But if you go back a couple of weeks ago, I have one design that I worked with that has everything, including the placing the flock into the mat, placing it on the Cricut machine, and doing the cut. You can go ahead and refer to that video to see that part. If you have any questions, you can always ask me. I'm gonna go continue. And again, nothing is gonna happen because I am not connected, all right? But what it's gonna ask you is to look for your machine. Right here, it says Air 2 because the last project that I work with, I use my Explore Air 2. You can make sure that you have the correct machine that you're going to be using. So if you have any questions on how to add a material into your material list, I have also a video tutorial that teach you how to add a new material to your material list. I'm going to go to the craft table, and now we're going to start the process of brushing the stones into the template and then pressing them into the shirt, okay? See you in a little bit, people. So these are the things we're going to be needing to do this for those who are new to rhinestones. Of course, they're rhinestones. I have a couple of colors in here that I'm going to be using. For this part in here, what says this, I'm going to be using light sapphire. For the heart, I'm going to use light cyan AB because it's kind of like a nice color of red, but it has the AB effect on it, meaning it's going to be like different tones of red and clear and blinging. So yeah, that's why I use this one, because the light cyan AB gives all of that, right? And then for the mama word, I'm going to be using rose. And for the praise, I'm going to be using Jonquil AB. Is this the AB or the regular? Yeah, Jonquil AB is this one. Okay. So yeah, so let's start the whole process. I'm gonna start on the top. And also, I forgot. Then of course the transfer tape. And this is Rhinestones transfer tape. It comes in a roll. And the brush, which is a regular painter's brush to brush the stones around. I'm gonna be using my stone picker or wax pen right here. And I use this dough cutter to pick up the stones at the end. You'll see me doing that. So guys, of course, the template already cut up on everything. It all fitted on one side of the board. I get this from dollar store, $1.25 store. It's 2 in a pack. And some of them also I get from Amazon. And this is just a regular, plastic cutting mat or cutting board. Okay. So let's start, people. I'm gonna start with this one. If you hear a noise in the background, I have the area heater on also. Even though the heater in the whole house is on, it's very cold. It was 30-some degrees last night. It was crazy because of my craft room is down on the lower level. It gets very cold in here, so I have an area heater behind me just to keep me nice and warm. Okay, so let's get started. I don't have much of the light sapphire left, so I'm gonna use the whole thing. I have it on these containers that I got from a dollar store because this came on a little plastic bag, so that's why I transferred it down into this container, and I wrote on top the type of rhinestones and the color on them. This is a beautiful color. I love this one. So for those who are new, all you have to do is go into circular motion. I'm gonna do this first part, and then the rest of the other part, I'm gonna fast forward. I get the transfer tape from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Same as my flock. You can get the flock, which is a Rocket brand, Rocket, also from them, and there are other places that sell this brand also. This is the only brand that I have used. They sell other brands out there, but so far this worked perfect for me, so that's why I haven't even tried other brands of rhinestone flock. I hope you're having a good view. I'm gonna lower it as much as I can, and then I'm gonna check my camera because I've been known to record out of focus. So I want to make sure that you guys are seeing the whole thing. Okay, so there's some stones out of place in here. I am loving these stones so much. This color is just amazing. What am I doing, people? I'm talking, and you see what I just did? Who can tell me what I did wrong? I know you can not answer me. I brushed the blue into the heart. That is how much I love this color. I kept going, I kept going, I kept going. So now I have to take all of them out of here. I'm gonna fast forward this part so that I don't bore you doing it, okay? Okay, so I am done with this part. I'm gonna attempt to see if I can do everything and pick it up all together. I might be able to do that. For the most part, I usually do it separate in different pickups, like with the transfer, and then put them together. But I'm gonna attempt to do the whole thing, and maybe it might work. I don't know. But this one is gonna be the red Scion AB. I'm gonna brush this one, and then after I finish brushing that one, I'm gonna continue on a fast forward to the rest, okay? Because I'm gonna try to pick up the whole thing at the same time. I have this template on my Etsy shop, the digital files. But for those who are new to rhinestones, this is the way it's done. This is the basic. I mean, it's nice. I love this part of the whole process. It's very relaxing just to brush the stones. I just like it. I'm gonna be pressing this into a sweatshirt. It's like a wine color sweatshirt. I might repeat it for a regular t-shirt because I'm gonna be going to Puerto Rico for Christmas and it's too hot over there to wear a sweatshirt, so I might repeat the whole thing on a t-shirt. That's how much I like this design. Okay, so I am done with this. The next one is Mama. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna very carefully switch this around, and I'm gonna attempt to do everything at once. I usually don't do it, people. I usually do each part separate. But because this is not a huge design, I might be able to pick the whole thing at once and get away with it. Okay, so I'm gonna do the pink. I'm not gonna cover it with a tape, with a painter's tape. When I talk about painter's tape, I mean, let me show you for those who are new. I don't want to move the table because I don't want to disrupt the. I cut pieces like this of painter's tape and I block the areas and then I brush separate and then I put them separate. But this time I'm gonna experiment doing the whole design at once. See if it works. So let's do this part very carefully with the pink. And the reason why I don't place the tape right now, because if I place the tape, I'm gonna have to rip it, and if I rip it, I'm gonna move the template, and the stones are gonna come off place. So that's why I don't use that. This is, I forgot to call you, this is rose. All these stones, I forgot to mention, are SS10 or 10SS. Some people call it 10SS, it's the same thing, okay? So let's see. Let's see if this is gonna work. Okay, people, so far, so good. I saw another one. Sometimes they're going double, one on top of the other one, and I saw this one here. The lights on this one are bright, so sometimes it's hard to, because they're blinking so much, it's hard to tell when you have doubles. So I have to go through it again and make sure I don't have any double stones, one on top of the other, and I don't see anymore. Okay, so let's do the last part. This might work, you know, without having to do them separate. So let's do the Jonquil baby. I'm gonna put some stones in here. This is empty, makes it a little bit easier for me. Just spread them around. I use much. Let's see. I always close my containers because I don't want any accidents. I love this Jonquil AB. Wow. I thought the Crystal AB was beautiful, but this is like, I mean, like, amazing. Okay, so let's do the next part, which is picking up the whole design at once. Oops, I'm spilling my stones all over the place. I'm just putting away the extra stones and I'm spilling all over. Let me place this over here. Okay. So let me see if I have a big enough piece of transfer tape to cover the whole thing at once, and I think I do. Let me see if this is big enough. No, this is not big enough. I need to cut a new piece. So I'll see you in a little bit, people. I'm gonna go ahead and cut a piece big enough of transfer tape, and I'll be right back. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna pick this up. This is a time of truth. It's a big design to pick all at once, but I managed to do it all at once, and that way, you know, at the end it's easier for me. I got this big piece. So when you're doing this, you have to commit. You cannot just think it twice. You have to fold it like a taco and just let it drop and don't think about it. And that's it. Done. If you take it too close to the design and then try to lift it up, the whole thing is gonna come up. So this is the time to check every position on each stone. Make sure that everything is nice. You can move that with your finger. This is another nice time to check if you don't see any doubles. And the way that you do it, you just check it. I go with my fingers like that because usually you feel if there are doubles when you pass your fingers like this, okay? And everything is looking good. I don't feel anything. Let me move this stone in here. There we go. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to lift it up. And then after that, we're gonna press the shirt. I mean the sweatshirt. A wine color sweatshirt. Okay, so let's lift this up. This is a new piece of transfer tape, so it should pick all the stones at once. Let me check that the camera is running, because this camera is acting up lately. I've been thinking I've been recording and then it's not recording. It's recording. Okay, so let's go back, lift this up. If when you do this, you see any stone that stay behind, you place the transfer tape back, press it down and pull it again, and it should be coming, it should come up with no problem. Like right there, I saw a stone that it did not picked up. I'm gonna press it down, down. Perfect, and it picked it up. Okay. Pull this away slowly, and here you go. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna keep it like this, and I'm gonna place back the backing back again into the transfer tape to protect it because I need to get ready on the other side to press the shirt. So I just place the backing like this and just keep it here. Okay. And this is the way it looked. Nice. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna see you over into the press area, and we're gonna press this shirt. See you in a little bit. Okay, so I already have pre-pressed the shirt. I'm gonna just go ahead and the designing here. I have a lining here that I more or less know that is the center. I am very bad at eyeballing the design, you know me. So I'm gonna try to make it as close as possible to the center, to the middle of the shirt, or sweatshirt. So, okay. Like I told you guys, I have no idea the middle is gonna be. I have to just trust. And I think everything looks good. I always do a last check before I press it, because once the stones are pressed, that's it. You cannot move anything else around. Okay, so far again, everything looks good. Everything looks good. Everything looks good. So let's go on. Okay. Wow. Beautiful. What can I say, peeps? This is beautiful. Let me see if I can get you closer. I love the colors, are perfect for the wine shirt. I was concerned a little bit about the rose color, but it just popping. It's beautiful. And that cyan, light cyan AB, perfect for the wine. Look at that. Bling, bling, bling. This mama prays. This mama prays. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, guys, take you to the table. I will see you in a little bit, okay? So this is the design. Is just beautiful. All the colors are amazing. The light cyan AB against the wine as the background is beautiful. Thank you for spending this time with me. I know it's a little bit longer of a video, but this is a tutorial, and I wanted to include as much as I could of the whole process. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask those questions down on the description box. If you're new and you have not subscribed yet, go ahead, subscribe to my channel, The Crafty Puerto Rican. I work with different craft, including this one, which is rhinestoning. So don't forget to click the thumb up on your way out. I will see you soon with new content. Bye-bye. Hasta luego.